I've had a sip of liquid luck and I've given my dog an erection. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 31, Race 6. And we find ourselves somewhere we don't always tend to show up. It's Monte Carlo in Monaco. The streets are paved in gold and potholes and accidents and carbon fibre and bits. Yeah, not a lot of drivers like coming here. It's a very difficult circuit, but you've got to come here once in a while. Good evening, Damon Hill. I'm looking forward to this also, and also seeing you on track, of course, my friend. Yes, it's a very iconic circuit, but a very difficult and narrow circuit. It's the Div 1 boys, though, they should be able to navigate this quite well. We did have it on the calendar for the Div 2 lads, but they proved they can't drive anywhere with walls, and this would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. It's a weird one, isn't it? Camels have got humps on the back, not straws. Save the sea turtles! Dan Morris reckons Six Pompano is one to watch for pole, and to win this is very quick, but there's one or two as well. Ahmedi, our championship leader. Portuguese, the challenger. Ted Head in the Haas is very, very strong, and Jack Daniels has got himself on the top order once or twice. But we'll keep our eye on Mr. Katamis, the fridge, as he does the first flying lap of our time here in Monaco. As he approaches turn 1, Sant Devot ride the curb as much as possible without touching the outside. As we climb uphill, look up at the sky, approaching turn 3 of Massenet. Hug the inside line. It's very difficult. Right hand around Casino, where he does clip the wall. It's a difficult corner. Down to the first Mirabeau. Very slow part of the calendar. Slowest corner on the F1 calendar, the hairpin, which has a great camera shot from the top. Second Mirabeau as we approach Portier, the seafront. Want to get a good X out here, as it's pretty much a straight going through the tunnel. It's not a corner, it's classed as a corner, it's more of a kink. Coming out to daylight. Wipe your eyes, one of the best overtaking parts. The Nouvelle chicane, avoid taking off your left front tyre as we go round to back. One of the most challenging corners through the swimming pools section. Double chicane. He's kept it within the white lines as we approach Rascasse and the end of the circuit. Around the final corner, want to get a good exit, avoid touching the wall, which he's done, so he's going to get a time on the board here, the Alpine. Got to cross the line. It's a 1:12.0, but I reckon we're going to be low 10s, high 9s, as Arvel in the Williams goes provisional pole with a 10.4. Six Pompano, the chat's favourite, 11 flat. Capstock in the Ferrari, 11 flat as well. Let's have a look. Then as one or two just starting their laps. AJ's going to set his first time and goes P4 with 11.3. Timo goes provisional pole with a 10.2. The elite leader putting his hat in the ring. And is in for a chance for the Div 1 Championship as it stands, as Wesker goes P5. Adam Mako, the McLaren teammate. Platinum driver who's impressed as such this season. Converting to his wheel. Goes up to the second row with a 10.9. I think one or two have invalidated, but Lennon doesn't, and he's going to cross the line and start a time. He was on his out lap. What a rookie mistake. Ted Head then goes provisional pole, 1:09.6. What a lap. Okay, that's quicker than I thought it would be. Maybe even... Oh, okay. Okay, Portuguese. Okay, Portuguese. Put your knob away. 1:08.9. Incredible. Incredible lap from the Red Bull. He is, of course, racing with his line back on today. But that's a good 7/10 ahead of Ted Head, who joins him on the front row. Jack Daniels, one of the favourites here, goes onto the second row, 1:10.1. Big gulf between him and the Red Bull driver. Benedict's exclamation mark. Exactly. I did not expect that either. All eyes will be on. As Giza. Eyes aren't on the Welshman. He's in the pits. Let's keep an eye on Lennon then and see what he can do. So he's been in some good form this season. Currently P11 ahead of Terry Reds. There is a admin battle going on. There's Ahmadi's invalidated on his lap. He's going to have to go again. So 1 or 2 struggling with the track limits, even though the walls are tighter than a dead virgin's vagina. And what's more tighter than that? My alibi. Hey, hey! Jack Daniels is on an in lap. Wesker's on another hot lap. Doing a double run on these soft tyres. He is slightly quicker than his first run. Not enough to get him up a position. Oh, throws his back end round the final corner. Will that cost him time? He goes up by 3/10 and up to P7, just behind his teammate. 1:11 flat, so good time there from the McLaren. 1 or 2 just coming out on an outlap. Now, what makes this interesting is that the races are no hards, just like the Div 2 race last week in Spain. This week it's in Monaco. So no hards allowed in the race for the Div 1 boys, which makes strategy key, tyre preservation key. And it's quite interesting that you've got drivers coming out on a second set of softs at this stage of qualifying. If they're going to be using all 3 sets, there's definitely going to be at least 2 stops from the drivers. I think because the gain enforces it, but it'd be interesting to see how they manage the load through the actual race. Alval comes round to the Nouvelle chicane, and he looked like he'd invalidated there. VAR. Oh, that looked dodgy. That was even dodgy as he loses his end plate. He's up almost a second, but he's still within the white lines, and he's invalidated. Pushing hard, and he's buggered that up. Let's keep an eye on Lennon then, who is 3.5 tenths up, using the same set of softs. And the guy that was on about was strategy. Could get him up to potentially. Look how tight that is. He could get even above the McLarens if he nails this final bit, and he does, up to P6, 10.8. Alongside his teammate for today, Arvel, who's reserving for Brutus. You can see we've got 15 drivers on the grid. One or 2 missing this week, unfortunately, but hey ho. AJ's pulled out of his hot lap, so won't improve as such. As Katami's game saying he's slightly down, but we'll see. He's pushing his lap as it stands through the Nouvelle. He's got a Haas ahead of him that needs to get out of the way. Neither are on a hot lap, and he's down 2 seconds. Not going to improve here. The Alpine. Who've we got next? So Lennon on his in lap. Let's jump on with Ahmadi then. Invalidated his first run. Hasn't got a time on the board yet. Oh, just keeps his nose out the wall. Fastest middle sector here from the Sauber. If anyone's going to challenge Portuguese, it's the Flying Scotsman. Round the final couple of corners as he comes through Rascasse. Slingshots out the final corner. Crosses the line. And only the second row, 109.7, a tenth behind Ted Head, who's actually got a Teddy for a head. Giza got to P13 then. Caps Lock has done his lap P8. I don't think he's improved. AJ is on his way in, so let's keep an eye. Adamako, it's collided with, he's not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy. Keep an eye on Arvel, who's collided with Adam. Adam then with a grid penalty. Did Arvel drive into him? And Adam trying to move out the way. Starting his lap. It'll be quite interesting to find that out. Jack Daniels been validated on his outlap. He's going. Armady will be going in then and potentially getting himself another set of tyres. Let's find somebody that's on their way in or on a lap. Capslot's on his way in. We've got a Haas next then. And let's keep an eye on Timo. The Elite Championship leader has had a very, very fine debut season. Won last week, of course. Slightly down on his time in Australia. And he's into the pits then, so he's not improving. Let's keep an eye on Arvel. Looking like a very quick time, this one. Front row, 109.2. Still nowhere near Portuguese, who sat in the pits and watching from afar. Jack Daniels validates. He's going to have to go again. Mercedes pushing hard. Wesker's just starting his lap. We've still got 6 minutes to go. Here's a very short lap, of course. He's still down his time, not improving at all. Seems like his best run was his first. Adams invalidated on his lap. And Terez has called it a day. And he's going to be starting at the back. Just where he likes it. Gay! Jack Daniels invalidated as well. The Mercedes are not dialing in as of yet. Arvel's in the pits then. Katami's invalidated, as I said. Let's keep an eye on the McLaren of Wesker, who's almost a 10th up. Had a very good qualifying as so far. Improved every run. Just taps the wall coming through the swimming pool. Oh, that went very deep. And he's in the pits. Lennon reckons early stop from Terry in the race, absolutely no-brainer. And, yeah, maybe this is a stroke of masterclass and strategy from the Mercedes. As he watches teammate on a flying lap. But we'll jump on with AJ, who's just ahead. Who's found a 10th. Needs to find another 10th to get himself above Kieser. Flying through the tunnel, approaching the Nouvelle. He's got his teammate ahead of him. 6 Pompano on outlap. It's best just to get out of the way of his teammates so he doesn't get caught in the dirty air. Drifts round to back. There's very... clips the wall again. AJ testing the limits of the walls. But he's made it through the lap. Maybe a slipstream off his teammate. I doubt it, but he's going through. And goes up to P11 with a 1:10.9. Great lap there from the Aston. I think he'll be reasonably happy with that. As we jump back on with Jack Daniels invalidated again. Swiss driver. Struggling on the streets of Monte Carlo. The same as Kieser. One thing Kieser knows. He's not going to be dead last. 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. Very difficult circuit. Six Pompano tests the limits of VAR again. That's ropey there. That's ropey. He's found almost 4 tenths here, the Aston. We'll get him into the 109s. He's looking potentially at going up to P4 ahead of Amadi. If he can find any extra time, could he get himself even P3? I don't think he's going to get to the front row, but he does get above Amadi, 109.7. Systems, only ones that were on a lap. Everyone else just coming out for their final run now. So let's keep an eye then on Arvel. The one closest challenger is invalidated already. What a dickhead. Back onto Katamies then. Who doesn't look like he's improving either. He's got to be on some old soft tyres as well, the amount of times he's been out. Coming through the tunnel now. He's looking very slow. He's probably preserving some ERS to do another run. Let's keep an eye on Mr. Spin himself. Wesker, who got pole in the Elite last week. Can he emulate that at the moment? It goes to Timo. He's got quite a lot of time to find. He's found another 8/10 in his lap to get himself that extra point. He's found 200ths. Every little helps. Get him his bag for life. His teammate Adam, of course, got that grid penalty. He does not know how that's happened. It'll be quite interesting to see any footage through the Nouvelle. Williams getting out of the way. It was Lennon just pulling to the side. Through the swimming pool chicane. Final couple of corners. Light, tight line through Raskas. Swing of his back end. Will cross the line. And gets up to P9. Behind him is again 1:10.7. I think he'll be reasonably chuffed with that. As Ted Head, a challenger for pole. Not on this lap, he's not. And Six Pompano is retired. And Ted Head is done then. Amadei's got onto the front row. 109.2. 400ths ahead of Arvel, who's to cross the line. He's found a couple of tenths here. And doesn't improve enough. He'll start on row 2. Portuguese going again and goes even quicker. 108.3. Incredible lap from the Red Bull driver. Timo's next. And he will start. He's found 3/10, but he will start highest P7. Next up is Adam. Oh, lots of traction coming out the final corner. And he's out of there. He's also facing the wrong way. As Giza up to P10, top 10 for the Welshman. I think he'll be reasonably happy with that. Benedict says that Portuguese is using hacks. Must be. Ted Head invalidated, so he's going to be starting highest on the second row. Amadei's going again, where he will start. There's nowhere's got close. No one's got close. Caps lock, P8 for the Ferrari. Last one, I think, on a flying lap, as Lennon's invalidated. Katamies will start P14. And I think, apart from Terry Reds, everyone else will be quite happy starting behind big bottom girl, that is Katamies. And Portuguese takes pole. And by 9/10. Oh yeah, Damon Hills is 1 second clear. Definitely want to keep an eye on. What we need here is Amadei to potentially... WO2, what does that mean? I don't know, kid lingo. 202. So Portuguese on pole in... oh wow, okay. Lol. On pole here in Monaco. Amadei joining him on the front row. Arvel and Ted Head on row 2 is Six Pompano and Jax on row 3. Timo takes pole in the Elite. Capslock in P8 alongside with Adamaka and Wesker McLaren side by side in the top 10. Giza P11, second in the Elite. Oh, that's pretty good going for a guy that got P3 last week. Lennon P12, AJ P13, Katamies 14th, and Terry Reds will be looking at the rear and suggested potential strategic play in his mind. He tried it in Vegas a few races ago, tried to pit right off the line and fuck the game up for everybody. Will he try something along those lines? Our drivers just sorting out their strategies and their fuel loads. Here's a 50% race, of course. And those that have enjoyed the qualifying, enjoyed any races, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, Mr. Terry Reds will slap my arse for not saying. Those that aren't aware of Lights Out League Racing, welcome, good evening. We are a league with 2 divisions, both racing on a Wednesday. So you're currently watching the Div 1 boys. The Div 2 will follow at 9 PM UK or around that time, depending when we finish this one. Each division is split into 2 tiers, and each tier has its own championship. So if you hear me talking about Platinum and Elite, the top 10 are the Platinum drivers, the second 10 are the Elite, and 1 driver from each tier get chucked into a constructors team to try and make that fight a little bit more fair. I've been asked to reset, and unfortunately cannot do so, Adam, I'm afraid, my friend. With that constructors in Div 1, there's 4-point gap between Red Bull and... Am I looking at the right one? That doesn't seem right. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. What a knob. Sauber leading the way on 206 points. Got a 27 gap to Red Bull, who's got a further 27 points back to Williams. It's still all to play for. We're only halfway through the season, of course. Plenty to play for. 1 or 2 interesting races coming up. And this one will be so as well. It's a very difficult track to actually overtake on. And in an F1 car, it feels like absolute madness, the pace you're actually driving at. It's narrow, tight, twisty. All the roads are cambered, challenges everywhere. And good evening, Hot Steppers. Race day in the sunshine. What make this interesting? As I said, it's definitely at least a 2-stopper because the game makes you do so, but no hards allowed. So only softs and mediums. Yeah, I'm so glad that Div 2 doesn't have Monaco as well, because it'll just be an hour and a half of tears, I think. It'll be proper Destruction Derby, I'm sure. Les Destruction Derby, if you want to speak French. We should be getting underway very, very soon. As I said, pit stops going to be crucial. It's a 19.4 second pit stop, so they want to do as minimal possible. I think they'll try and get through just the 2 stops, but if a safety car comes out, it completely throws spanner in the works. In the chat, let me know who's going to win, who's going to get on P1, who's going to be on the podium. I think you'd be an idiot not to say Portuguese is not going to win this race. I like to say the Italian Arval would be up there, but doesn't seem to follow up his pace in the race. And I think he'll get caught. Hot Stepper says McLaren, okay, mate. I'll smoke whatever you're smoking. Portuguese, I think, is going to win. I think Amadi P2. And I think Ted Head P3, because he's got a Teddy head. Let's look at then. So mixture then. Most drivers getting off those soft tyres. Portuguese, Ted Head, Timo Capslock, Catamise and Terry Heads all going for mediums. That's interesting then. So someone said Terry's is going to have an early pit stop if he's starting the mediums. I severely doubt that. So interesting. Calls up and down the grid. As I said, we don't then tend to come to the streets of Monaco that often. Streets actually existed from 1215. Nice history lesson for you, as it was first established as a colony of Genoa. The engines actually started revving around the streets in 1929. Officially became on the calendar, in the maiden calendar of F1 in 1950, as I'm sure you're all aware. But what was on and off, but has been on the calendar ever since 1955, which is incredible. It's not my favourite circuit personally. It is a bit of a drag to watch in real life, but I'm sure the guys here will put on a show here at the 3.3 kilometre clockwise circuit, 19 corners, 12 to the right, 7 to the left with 1 DRS zone. Safety car chance 43%, 29% VSC. It would have been 100 if it was Div 2. As I said, pit stops 19.4 seconds. And be interesting to see how everyone's strategy play out. Portuguese jumps into the grid boxes. Amadi joining him on the front row. Arvel and Ted Head behind. 6th Pompano and Jack Daniels 5th and 6th with Haas and Capslock 7th and 8th. Wesker P9, Keyser P10, Lennon 11th, 12th for AJ, Catamise 13th, Adamaco P14 with Terry Reds rounding up the rear. It'll be interesting. Adamaco starting on the softs. Will he have that early pit stop? Portuguese is in his grid box. It's 142 metre run down from pole to turn 1 braking point. It's going to be a tight right-hander where the cars are going to get very congested. Terry Reds is disqualified in his box as well. He's having an absolute mare in either Mercedes. Everyone point and laugh. It's 3, 4, 5. We're on a fantastic view here on Arbel as we light out and away we go. It's a slow start for the Williams, but he stays ahead of Ted Head in P4. AJ lose out position, battling there with Adamaco, and Wesker's facing the wrong way as well as Lennon, both dropping down. Ex-Div 2 rivals, both challenging for the Elite Championship. Not having the best start to the race here. Just a yellow flag as everyone starts navigating round. Hairpin, clip of the wall from Amadi. And those on the soft tyres need to take advantage. Adamaco already up to the top 10. Good start from those McLaren, unlike his teammate. Nouvelle chicane. Track limits will be playing their part, of course. We saw a lot of drivers invalidate their hot laps. And top 10 away on their own now. 2 seconds. Catamise in the Alpine. He's having a tricky start. Looks like he's spazzing. He's got internet problems. He does live out with the reindeers. Man City losing 1-0. Oh my God. Ah, don't just give Arsenal the title. Ridiculous. Timo just falling adrift then of the front 6 as Wesker's in the pits. Lennon carries on then. Wesker with the early pit stop. Could be an interesting call as he gets a fresh wing on. He'll be hoping for a potential safety car, although he is quite a way behind, so won't take that much advantage. He's coming out. Portier, DRS is now active on the second lap. Amadi has to stay with the Red Bull driver. Want to try and minimise any sort of gain that Portuguese has on the title challenge. Our title holder Callum, of course, is missing, and I think his chance of reclaiming back-to-back titles, or 3 in a row I should say, is very slim now at this stage of the season. Oh, it's disallowed. Boo! Fucking boo! I love that seagull meme. Fucking boo! Ted Head pushing hard behind the Williams of Arvel. Showing the pace that the Haas has. It'll be interesting to see when these soft runners pit. Everyone did a lot of laps in quali. Only 1 or 2 that'll have a fresh set for the race. 39 laps in this very short circuit. And the front 2 are just getting slightly adrift now of the rest of the pack. And concentration is key. One slight misjudgment error, you can't even sneeze. Oh, it's Amadi pushing through to back. Skims the wall. And goes slightly adrift of the Red Bull driver. And there's your first one on lap 3. Aston Martin 6 Pompano. The chat's favourite. Not anymore. Portuguese now with some breathing space to Amadi, whose soft tyres must be struggling. Tyre wear can be quite drastic on this circuit. There's so many tight bends, bumps, grazes of the wall. They'll wear very, very harshly. Ted Head and Arvel having a good battle here for P3. 6 Pompano struggling with the limits. He's got a little train behind him. They all bunch up round the slowest corner on the F1 calendar. That includes likes of Jackson, Timo and Caps Lock. Will we see anyone make any brave moves at the Nouvelle? It's probably the best overtaking opportunity on the track as Jax smacks his rear right off the wall. Do that too many times, there's a high risk of a puncture. Adamako stuck behind the Welshman of Kieser, and then I can imagine in the voice chat he'll be screaming, get out of the way. He'll have a dose of DRS down to turn 1. Makes a great overtake here, the McLaren on the inside of Team 1. Kieser couldn't fight it. And the McLaren up to P9 then. Having Carlo in his way, and he'll be having one eye on the train for P5 ahead. Terry Reds. Oh, Terry has to just back out of turn 3. Nearly hitting the outside of Massenet. Hearts 1-0 down to Falkirk. Come on, Hearts. Oh, it's disallowed. Portier. Mercedes pushing Aston Martin to its limits. Terry goes slightly deep. First corner of the chicane. But he's putting pressure on the Aston Martin. Oh, AJ just struggling through to back. Terry's had a better line. I wouldn't be surprised if Terry's gets a good launch out of the final corner. That Anthony knows. The guy the founder of Monaco GP. Gets a nice little corner named after him. Who would have thought? Still pushing. It's a very difficult part of the track to make an overtake as Terry goes deep again and clips the wall. He loves that outside wall, turn 3. He's going to have to be careful though. Portuguese almost 5 seconds away from Amadi. I think Amadi just will be looking to finish. Struggle through the Nouvelle. As we've got a yellow flag and Ted heads out. He's crashed out on the exit of the Nouvelle chicane and it's a VSC. Will we see anyone pit? Portuguese is at the front, carries on, and the Haas, oh yeah, I was tipped for him to be on the podium, is the first one to come a cropper. And Amadi is in, getting rid of these softs, then Arvel's in, makes sense. 6 Pompano and Jax, I wouldn't be surprised if they're in too. Make use of the pit stop. He'll halve the pit stop time to about 10 seconds. Timo carries on through, of course. And we'll go up to P2. This is exactly what the likes of Amadi and Arvel needed to put some sort of challenge to Portuguese. And we'll have some lovely fresh rubber on. Oh, Lennon's it. Oh, he's got. Oh, I'll drive through your mum. Bloody hell. In the pit stop as well. To serve a penalty. Caps Lock got one as well. What the Christ? Caps Lock. I'll drive through your mum as well. Pit for some fresh softs. He's got Terry Reds right in his gearbox, who chose not to pit. Adamaka, who did, is now behind Terry Reds. Caps Lock pitting on some fresh softs. Jackson, Six Pompano. Ah, they're going to be gutted because they're stuck behind Katamise, who chose not to. Giza went on through as well. That's a good call there from Amadi and Arvel. Ted Head could have called that. I've done it once. I've done it myself. I normally do it on the first corner, lose my front left. So it's unfortunate, Ted Head. Six Pompano's managed to get past Katamise at turn 1. Great overtake. Katamise trying to fight back, but had to slot behind the Aston Martin. And Jax Daniels hounding the cat. Will he make a move through the chicane? I've seen many people dive on the inside as Adamako and Terry Reds. Adamako getting past Terry Reds at the first Mirabeau. Terry Reds on used tyres, of course. Six Pompano past Kiza through the tunnel. The Aston Martin flying now. He'd be gutted that he's got that penalty, but gets a good drive away. Kiza on this really old soft tyres. Katamise and Jax Daniels holding hands through the swimming pool. Jax Daniels will try and get past Katamise as quick as possible. They're stuck behind Kiza as well. As we've got a crash, it's a Haas, it's Timo, who's crashed coming out of turn 1. That's not going to be good for the Elite Championship leader. It looks like he's got damage. He's lost an end plate. It looks like both of his end plates. Kiza still this cork in a bottle. Jax Daniel, the one that's pit, will not want to be stuck. Oh, Katamise lost of traction. Carlo Casino has to give up the position to Jax Daniels. They're side by side coming through the first Mirabeau, and a great move there from Jax. Great opportunism. Lennon's in the pits getting rid of his drive-through, and I think Catsock served his as well. But great move from the Mercedes, who goes past Kiza through the tunnel as well. Kiza on those old softs. He's not... Oh, I can't do a one-stopper. He's going as long as possible on this first stint. The Welshman here. Jax Daniels now back into the top 6. And we'll look to hunt down Timo, who surely got to pit with his wing damage. He's going to lose so much time otherwise. Mercedes already caught behind him. And the Haas carries on. He's got no end plates. Oh, Jax Daniels is going to be seething. Kiza then in the pits. Getting rid of these tyres, really difficult for him. Adamako stuck behind the Katamise, who defends Saint-Devot. Can Adamako get a good launch up, climbing up the hill? Katamise defending. Has the inside line. Adam will just have to sit behind for now and try and wait for his opportunity. He's made some great overtakes already so far in this race. Takes a quick look at the hairpin. Has to push him round the corner. Car's going 30 kilometres an hour. That's 6 laps older. Still yet to pit the Alpine. Jax Daniels, great overtake at the Nouvelle chicane. Can Adamako do the same? He cannot. And he's stuck to the Alpine. You couldn't be any closer. Have to at least buy him dinner first. Jesus. Monaco. Getting slightly... Oh, he's lost probably his end plate there. Just trying to get a little bit frustrated. We'll have a dose of DRS. Will he try and make a move? Katamis. Monaco forcing himself through. Oh, slight nudge there. It looked a little bit rough there from the McLaren. Katamis loses out and goes down to P11 and has lost an end plate on his wing. A little bit feisty. And whoa! Whoa! Portuguese is out and he's crashed out through at to back. And the VSC is out. The race leader, the favourite, is out. The race leader is out. He's crashed out. And now that would have been on my Lights Out League Racing bingo card. I'll tell you that. And what that does do is puts Arvel into the race lead. It's the VSC. Will anyone try and pit again? Delta's a little bit of a struggle here. Did not call that. And who said this race would be boring? Lost 2, unlucky for some, 13 left. But some big points on offer. Timo choosing to pit then while the VSC is out. We'll have to get a wing change. Will anyone else take an opportunity? Surely Caps Lock's going to come in. He does. Terry Reds is in, getting some fresh tyres. Katamis, both of those yet to pit. And sticking some fresh rubber on, taking advantage of the pit stop once again. Timo coming out in a set of soft tyres. Can Kiza get past him? Kiza does. Kiza into the top 7. He's just coming out of the pits now. And we'll come out in P12. Arvel leads the way as the VSC has ended. No one's got any drive-throughs now, thankfully. He's got a good couple of seconds on the Sauber Ram. He goes deep at Raskas, though. That would have cost him a bit of time. Cost him about half a second. And Amedy finds Scotsman's no shout. And he, to be fair, he does not have to go crazy now. With Portuguese out, he just has to finish the race and he'll bag some big points. Only a third through this race. Lost 2 drivers, as I said. Timo on those fresh soft tyres, hunting down Kiza. Elite battle here. He's got another yellow flag. As Katami struggling through swimming pool. I think he's lost his end plate again. He's hit the wall. A big opportunity here for Lennon. Katami's back into the pits. Have to get some fresh wings on. So let's jump back on with Timo then and see how he gets on behind the Red Bull. Kiza, the Red Bull #1 driver in Monaco. And that's big damage for the Red Bull charge for the Constructors title as well. Amedy, the only one to be able to bag some points. The same can be said now for Kiza. And what that would do is open up the door for Williams. Both drivers on the grid. Although Arvel will only get half points for being a reserve. But still double points for the Williams to close that gap. On the front. Timo coming through the final corner then. We'll have a dose of DRS on Kiza. Kiza planted his car right in the middle of the track. Brilliant drive from the Red Bull. And as it stands, AJ in P6 is the elite P1 driver. If he can stay ahead of the two behind him, who've got 5.5 seconds behind, and get his first win of the season in Elite. So he comes round to Portier. Rangers losing, Celtic losing, everyone's losing in Scotland. Nobody wants to win the title. Nobody's interested. Timo looking outside the tunnel. As I said, it's a very difficult track to overtake. I'm sure everyone that's raced here will be fully aware, but you've got to psych out the driver ahead of you and choose your moment wisely. The DRS zone, he almost skims the wall at Raskas. One or two drivers just not able to rotate their car enough. Find it very tricky. As Timo still follows Keys around as they start lap 15. Clash to the wall from Terry's. Under 3 seconds now, 2 caps lock. Both on different tyre strategies. Well, these soft tyres will not last very long. Lennon's already done 8 laps on these. And we saw 1 or 2 drives struggle, like Giza when he got to this stage. Found traction really difficult round Massenet. Called Massenet because there's a statue on the outside of it of Jules Massenet, who's a French opera composer. Wave at it as you drive by. 2.5 seconds now between the front two. Amadi just settling himself down. Like I said, he just has to finish. Arvel, I did it dirty, said he didn't have that good a race pace, is now in the lead of the race. And I think the Italian will be extremely chuffed to taking a win in Monaco. Is a fantastic claim to fame. Timo still unable to make a move here on Giza. Both closing the gap on AJ. Now 3.5 seconds behind. To be fair, Giza following his P3 in the Elite last week. Could be in for a shout for the P1. Just testing how stable the walls are with his back wheel. And we've seen him unable to defend to 1 or 2 drivers making overtakes, but he's having a great defence as it stands to Timo. Timo currently running P8, but will get a points advantage to Wesker and Lennon, who are both just behind him in the Elite Championship. So it'll still be a decent finish for him where it stands as he's pushing out of the final corner. A loss of traction won't help him. He's overtaking Glimpse. Has to follow in the dirty air, just clips the wall again, and we've seen him hit the wall already. Not able to do so as yet. Still stuck behind. Giza, you can both see AJ just in the foreground. And I'm going to take a slightly tighter line through the second mirror bow. Just ride the curb a little bit more. Reduce the race distance. ID just over 2 seconds, and Giza gets himself a track limits coming through the Nouvelle chicane, and his defence has been very valiant, but it will be all in vain because of the track limits, and I hope that Timo potentially picks one up behind him. Caps lock only just about 2.5 seconds behind this battle, and while they're jostling, he'll wait for his opportunity. Adamako, after his grid penalty after qualifying, Now finds himself in P5. Incredible drive. What was he, P13? P13? Incredible drive here from the McLaren, and could find himself as the get the extra point for most positions gained, so as well as the point system for finishing. Every driver gets a point for finishing, so always make sure you do. We award a point for pole position for both the Platinum and the Elite, a point for fastest lap, and then a point for the biggest gainer from their qualifying position to their finishing race position. As it stands, like I said, it looks like Adam potentially, or AJ, one of the two. It stays as it is. AJ under threat now from Keyser and Timo closing in. Caps lock chomping at the bit as well. And a couple of laps are going to be all on top of each other. AJ just nursing these medium tyres, and I wouldn't be surprised if he potentially pits in a couple of laps. It wouldn't hurt him holding up the cars behind him who are on a different strategy. Everyone on different strategies, apart from these front six. That's a silly comment. Of course they're all on different ones, apart from the front six. Whoa, and Keyser misses his braking point and almost wipes out the Aston Martin. Wesker now pitting, getting those fresh wheels on, and then coming around the final corner. Wesker should make it out just ahead. We've got a three-car battle here now for P6. Timo in the dirty air of this Red Bull, lap after lap after lap. His tyres, although a shorter distance to the cars ahead, softer compound will be shredding. Oh, and he almost drifts into the wall, has to sharply brake, which has lost him a little bit of time and pull him into the clutches of the Ferrari. Will anyone be brave to make an overtake? This is playing into the Aston Martin's hands here. As Lennon has caught up to Wesker, who's come out of the pits with fresh tyres on. Lennon pit the lap before, so this is a white knuckle battle through the swimming pool section. And throwing the car in through the chicane. Lennon will trying to make an overtake. This will be for bragging rights. Battling for P11 here. Battling for their position in the elite table. Wesker has the position for now as they come through lap 21. Both been lapped, of course, already. Jack Daniels just in a lonely P4. As we jump back down, Timo is now in the pits, getting rid of these soft tyres and out of that train. It'd only be a matter of time before he ends up into the wall, so it makes sense. Will he chuck on a set of mediums and try and go to the end? Again, it's going to be very tight. What's that, 18, 19 laps? He might have to pit again, you know. Yellow flag. Wesker's out. Wesker's crashed in the Nouvelle chicane, and it's a full safety car. A full safety car, and that's unfortunate for Timo, who's literally just pit. Our first full safety car. And the McLaren of Wesker is out of there. That battle with Lennon put too much pressure on him. The front two are in. Six Pompano, I'm sure, will be in as well. Everyone should be coming in, making use of the pit stop. It is a freeze pit stop. No, Timo, he's speeding under the safety car. He's got himself a drive-through. I'm going to drive through your mum as well. God, I'm going to be knackered. All these mums I'm driving through. It looks like Amadee's put a fresh wing on. Has Timo got another one? What are you doing? Your mum's going to be knackered now. I'm driving through her twice. Oh, Timo. This could put a big... I was saying earlier, it shouldn't put much damage on his title charge, but he's not going to end up having a good race here. Catslock's choosing not to pit here, thinking that pitting now will not make it to the end. Adam, AJ, Keezer, Tered all going in, so Catslock choosing not to go in, and he's going for track position for now. Will be in P5. Arvel stays in the lead of the race. Amadi pitting. I think he's had a wing change, now behind Six Pompano. Oh, it's side by side going up the hill. Who's got a position? Looks like Timo is just ahead. I think AJ's trying to battle that, but the game decides who is ahead. What this does do is condenses the field back up at once again. I think potentially one or two. I don't think... No, I think no drives a lap now, so it should condense everyone back up again. And we'll probably do another lap or two under the safety car then. This is interesting then. The crowd's favourite Six Pompano's back in the game. In for a chance for the race win here. Does have the track limits penalty, of course, so that would not help, but he'll need to hope for one or two around him to pick one up. Brings the likes of Jax, Catslock, Adam back all in contention for the podium. Who said Monaco's boring? Get in the bin. Lennon. Oh, Lennon's not happy that Arval's overtaken him. Maybe if Arval's listening, just pull aside to let Lennon through, maybe, and then Lennon should be able to get past. Probably not the best team play. Everyone knows I love a bit of team orders, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be. Seems to be falling on deaf ears. Man City 1-0 then. Hearts 1-0 as well. Bill has his teammate behind him, which means Lennon can't unlap himself. That means finding him at the back of the order as well. And Lennon will have to let the drivers around him past in a lapped car. Bit of a rookie move there from the Italian, really. If Arvel's listening. I think everyone's caught up now, though. And I think the safety car will be in. And it says that Arvel was ahead of him in the out of the pits. It is a bit silly, and the safety car is in, so it's a bit late now. So Arvel will lead us away. Holds up the pack, has to wait for the safety car to go into the pits. And you can't overtake until the timing line. On lap 24 of 39. About 14 or 15 laps to go. Those that have pit should be able to just make it to the end. Catslock will have to pit once again as Lennon goes into the pits. And Arvel goes. Lennon putting on some fresh soft tyres in some clean air. And Six Pompano all over the back here of the Williams. Going through Massenet. Around the Casino. Amadi trying to get himself back into P2 at least. The driver's locking up in the first Mirabeau. Very congested through the hairpin. Once again, it's basically like lap 1. Arvel's just slightly checked out with Six Pompano. Slightly slower than the Williams. Amadi will need to get past if he wants to win this race. Jack Daniels sticking with the front pack. And if he stays within the 3 seconds of Six Pompano, and get himself onto the podium, which I don't think he was expecting. And DRS is no actives. Timo in the pits once again, having to serve a drive-through, and I think he's got 2 drive-throughs. Yeah! So he's got drive-throughs. Why has the game not served him a drive-through? Oh, this game's proper screwed him over. That's savage. Adam all over the back here of Caps Lock has the inside line. The side-by-side going through the hairpin. It's very difficult. Adam should have the inside of the second Mirabeau and should make this move stick. He says there's still side-by-side going through Portier. What a brilliant drive this is. Caps Lock goes deep at Portier. And it's a very difficult place to race. Caps Lock on old medium tyres. So it would have been very tricky to fight that, but has to slot behind Giza. Adam pushing his way through again. Bit of carbon fibre flying off here as AJ side by side through with Caps Lock. They squeeze through to back. AJ lets the Ferrari of Caps Lock go. Now I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the pits very soon. He must be struggling with these tyres. AJ pushing him round Raskas. Jump back on with the battle here for P2 or P1. They've caught back up with Arvel. Hearts 2-0. So he approached the hairpin. Amadi just going slightly wide. This is going to be going down to the wire with 13 laps to go. Arvel in control of the race as it stands. Giza just slightly falling back from Adam. Just find it a bit difficult in the dirty air. Adam 6 seconds behind that front pack. He's lost an end plate, I think, battling with Caps Lock. Just avoiding the walls as AJ gets overtaken by the Mercedes of Terry Reds. AJ with slight wing damage is probably struggling. It's a great overtake from the Mercedes. He's got a big wing damage. He's lost that somewhere. And another penalty there from Pompano. Potentially put his chances of a podium out the window. AJ goes in the pit for another wing change here. Terry Reds now pushing the Ferrari of Caps Lock up the hill towards turn 3. Timo in the pits. Surely he's got to be serving his drive-through now. He'd be thankful another safety car doesn't come out, otherwise he'll get disqualified. We've seen that already this season. I think it was Div 2 where they literally had back-to-back safety cars and he couldn't serve the drive-throughs and got disqualified. It's quite very harsh, but what can you do? Will Terry Reds pounce at the Nouvelle like he did on AJ. Not close enough yet. As we jump back on and see this battle for the lead of the race. Front 4 all in contention. Will anyone try and pull the trigger on the Williams? Defends the inside of Saint-Devot. Concentration is key. One slight misstep and you could have the same fate as 3 drivers that have all crashed out. all on a similar part of the circuit, all through the Nouvelle and to back section. All three drivers have come across there. Stewards come out with their scrubbing brushes as we jump and backseat. Terry Red's getting past, climbing up the hill. Mercedes has pounced and going himself up to P7. Great drive here from the back of the grid, Mr. Terry Reds. I think he'll be happy with this position. He's got 8 seconds of age. He gets himself a track limits as well. Picked up a couple now. Going through turn 1. And he's got 8 seconds now to close down on Giza. That's Daniels. Just a bit of gap for him now. For the train for P1. We'll hope for a bit of battling once again, so he can close back in. Amadi staying strong. The Div 1 and Platinum Championship leader should extend his lead at the top. Pushing round Pompano, who's struggling through the hairpin. Will Sauber make his move? He doesn't really have to force it. Knows if he stays in this position that he'll get the platinum win. Arvel, of course, a reserve. VAR once again. Look dodgy that. Arvel reserve, so will win the Div 1 race. But and Six Pompano with his penalties, Amadi will take the platinum win. Oh, snap of understeer from Amadi. Managed to keep it out of the walls for now. Katami's getting himself a track limits. I think moving out of the way potentially for the cars lapping him. He's got Lennon right on his gearbox. Lennon not having the best of races here on the streets of Monte Carlo. The house always wins. And the Lennons lose. Oh, and Katami's clatters the wall down the straight. How he's done that and he's out. And it's a full safety car. How the hell did he do that? And the Aston Martin's out once again. Hi, Callum. How's it gone? Well, we've just lost our 4th driver. Well, this is going to make it interesting now. Who pits and who doesn't? Who pits and who doesn't? I think track position's key. I think if Arvel pits, I think the others will stay out. The tyres should go to the end. It's going to be tricky. But Katami's on the most difficult part of the circuit is out of there. Will anybody pit? Arvel carries on. The front 3 carry on. And they're going for track position. Jax Daniels is in then. He's got a gap with Adamako behind him. Adamako just coming around to Raskas. This is going to be an interesting call here from Jax Daniels. You can get out just before, as Adamako's in the pits as well. This is interesting. They're choosing to go on the softer tyres and try and make a move. Giza carries on. He's going for track position and will come out ahead of Adamako. So Adamako's made it a slightly more difficult for himself. He's got an extra driver to pass. Tyrell is in to put some fresh tyres on. Makes sense for Catstock to put some fresh tyres on. Waiting for this opportunity. Timo will he pit? I don't know what his tyre life is. He is pitting. AJ on some fresh tyres, so should potentially jump Timo under the pit stops. So the front 3 choosing to stay out here. As it stands as well, Giza is in for the P1 for the elite. And I don't think he would have thought that, but Monaco, his best race and best finish of the season. his wildest dreams. And it was delivered to him by Katamis. Lap 32 out of 39 is pretty much going to be a 5-lap sprint. All the fans watching on their yachts. The pompous douchebags. As Kieser's pitting. Okay, this is an interesting call from Kieser. He's got a big gap to caps lock, so choosing to put some fresh tyres on. So Adamako, again, yeah, back to one less driver now. Can him and Jax Daniels barge their way through on those fresh soft tyres? 1 second, my dog's being a dick. He's such a needy little shit. Oh, God. There you go then. There you go. Don't just stare at me, you bloody nonce. Go on then, go lie down. Oh, he's just doing the opposite. You're an absolute cretin, mate. Don't look at me. Pervert. So, just coming out of the tunnel now, lap 33. Arvel will lead us on the safety car restart once again. Pompano, with his track limit penalties, will definitely drop down the order in quite a few places. So it would promote Amadi up a position, Jax Daniels up a position. But can the likes of Jax, Adamako, even Kieser fight their way through? I've got 10-lap tyre offset on some better tyre compound. This is going to be an exciting, thrilling finish. Like I said, at the moment, Kieser is leading the way, but he's got a penalty. So if Terry Reds can stay within touch, Terry Reds could get his first P1 in Elite. This is going to be very interesting, Mr. Bond. Oh. Oh! What a knobhead! How have you picked that up under the safety car? Oh, that's getting clipped. What a knobhead. Sorry, it's your first day. Oh my Christ. Right, safety car should be in on this lap, and like I say, we're going to have a 5-lap sprint to the end. I want to see these soft runners push, make some moves, be aggressive. It's why they pit. It's why they put these soft tyres on. Let's see some action. Steven Spielberg this shit. Don't do Michael Bay though, I don't want it in slow motion. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Safety car is in, as suspected. So Arvel will wait. He went quite early on. I think he went come out of Raskas. We'll wait for the safety car to go in, of course. Can't overtake till the timing line, so he's pretty much safe. Oh, fuck. Timo's having a mare. And Arvel has gone. Pompano stayed with him. Amadi just caught napping slightly as he clashes the wall as well. That'll cost him a little bit of time. Jax Daniels on those better tyres. Closing in. Lock up from the Aston Martin at Saint Devot. Climbing up the hill for the 35th time. So many times. Catslock on his older tyres. Just caught napping as well. So Kieser will be hoping that he can form a bit of gap to the Ferrari behind him. Oh, just keeps his nose out of the rear of Adam. Human centipeding. Adam pushing on those soft tyres. You see Jax is all over the back of Amadi. And the Aston Martin, this is going to be down to the Nouvelle. Will anyone try to make a move? That Jax Daniels is squeezed into the wall by the Sauber. It's getting messy now from the Div 1 through the Nouvelle. Was there any damage? Jax just has to slot behind. He doesn't have any damage to his wing by the look of it. Looked probably worse than it was. But the guys on the soft tyres are pushing. Arvel's checked out slightly. The Aston Martin and the Amadee struggling. Jack's just pushing the limits of the exit wall of the final corner. DRS is now enabled. We'll see it more effective on the next lap. Will those soft tyres last? Jack's pushing, climbing up the hill towards turn 3 in Massenet. Aramaco just keeping back a little bit to see what happens with Jackson D if they come a cropper again. Will Jax make a move down to the first Mirabeau? He does not. He has a slot behind. Just follow through this middle section. So he's got better rotation on these soft tyres. As they follow through the tunnel once again. The Nouvelle is probably a better place to make a move. He's got a good launch out of Portier. Chooses a different side. Will he make a late lunge? He does not. He slots behind the Sauber. Oh, and gets caught up in traffic again. Hopefully doesn't got wing damage. Adamaco taking a quick look behind the Mercedes. This is going to be tight though, and if Arvel picks up a last minute penalty, his race one will be out the window. And Jack's get a good exit. Oh, snap of oversteer from the Sauber. This could be the opportunity that the Mercedes needs, but he's not close enough to make a move. It's Andevot. Amadee defending hard. Lock up from the Aston Martin ahead. Lucky to stay out of the wall. Climbing up the hill once again. Through the middle section. Amadee defending and opens the door a bit for Pompano to have a bit of breathing space, but you can see Amadee struggling on these tyres. Jacques Daniels pushing, putting pressure on the championship leader. And it's very difficult places to overtake. Amadee, a seasoned driver, will be harvesting his ERS and putting it on defence. You can see the lights flashing, both squabbling. 3 laps including this one to go. Jack's taking a quick look at the Nouvelle again, but it's not close enough. Adam and Keyser just waiting with intent still, but we'll stay with Jax as he's pushing him round the back. Amadee really struggling through this middle section. Jax has ripped his shirt off. He's gone full beast mode. Out of final corner, needs a good exit. This is probably his best opportunity, but Amadee's squirting all his ERS right to the turn 1. Jax needs to save it and get him past him up the hill. Clatters the wall, which will cost him a tenth or so. He's going for it on the inside of Massenet. This is brave from the Mercedes. Bit of wheel banging with the Sauber, the side by side going downhill towards the first Mirabeau. Jax has the outside. Amadee defending the inside. Goes deep though. Oh, I don't think Jax will be happy with that. Adamaco side by side with Jax Daniels on the hairpin. Adamaco taking an opportunity and gets himself just ahead of Jax Daniels. And as I was saying, Adamaco was hanging back, waiting for his opportunity, and he saw it. The door opened and has got himself into a podium position. Jax Daniels will not be happy now. I don't think he'll be too happy with Amadee going deep at turn 5. I wouldn't be surprised if stewards were having a look at that. We're coming round the final couple of corners for the penultimate time, as Arvel's got 1.5 seconds to take his first win of the season. Adamaco climbing uphill. I don't think he's close enough to make a move on Amadee, but he's got an opportunity. Amadee struggling on these 17-lap-old medium tyres. The soft tyres will probably get to a point where they are slightly struggling and not at their prime. All over his gearbox through hairpin. He's probably got a couple of opportunities. Portier's one of them, but he's not close enough. He's on the defence too. Jax Daniels here. Will Jax try and make a move at the Nouvelle chicane? He's not close enough himself. The Mercedes here. Just got to avoid hitting the walls. There's a great drive from this bunch. They're putting on a great show. Zarbel comes through the swimming pool for the final time, approaches Raskas, avoids touch on the wall on the outside, round the final corner, and the Italian will cross the line for his first win in Lights Out League Racing. Congratulations to the reserve, and big points for Williams. Brutus will be happy. Pompano across the line, but Amadi takes P2. Adamaco takes P3. Jax Daniels comes home P4. 6 Pompano 5. Capsock P6. 7th for Kiza Giza. Terry Reds comes home P8. 9th for Timo. AJ P10. And we'll have a second look at that grid and go through your winners and your podium sitters as penalties and accrued and positions jostled. But that was an intense run to the finish, and Arbel takes the win. Congratulations to him for the first time. Amadi gets fastest lap, so an extra point for the championship lead. Driver of the day is given to Adam Mako. Most overtakes to him. There's a high chance he'll get the extra point for most overtakes. But Arbel takes his first win. Big congratulations to him. Amadi takes P1 in Platinum and the fastest lap with a 12.5. Adam Mako takes P2 and Jax Daniels P3 in Platinum as well. 6 Pompano just misses out in P5 with his penalties. Catstock P6. He'll be quite chuffed. Kiza Giza P1 in Elite. First time in Lights Out League Racing for his P1 in Div 1. Terreds will take P2 and Timo will take P3 in Elite. AJ just missing out and will take P10 though in Div 1. Lennon P11 with Katamis, Wesker, Portuguese and Ted Head all retiring after clattering the wall. Exhilarating race that, and that's a lot to be said for Monaco. Plenty of action, and the no hards definitely added to the attention and drama. Definitely chuffed that we proceeded to go ahead with this. If you want to catch the Div 1 boys again, join us next week at 7:30 UK, where they will be joining us in Bahrain. But if you want to see some Bahrain action, that's where we're heading in about 10 minutes time. The Div 2 boys will be on the grid and battling out for their round 7 race. So please hang on if you want to catch it. There's always action for Div 2. But if not, see you next week. My name's Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.